So I wanted to talk about the new Silksong that came out, and while I talk about it, I'm gonna be farming some money. Just to, I forgot I was even here. I'm not really a big fan of this game. It's one of the issues I have with it is its difficulty is significantly harder than the first one, which I mean, like I play Souls games and difficult stuff all the time, so that's not really a big issue. But the difficulty change, I would argue, is a genre change. Like it's no longer. I wouldn't describe this as a Metroidvania. I would describe this as a Souls-like game. That's just a significant change in my opinion of just what to expect. I came into this game expecting a sequel to Hollow Knight, not a spiritual successor to Dark Souls. And another issue is, or I guess to dive more into depth on why I'm not a fan. The difficulty is the first game wasn't really that hard. Um, when you're fighting every boss and you have they do one damage to you per hit, it's a lot more exciting because you can be a lot more aggressive the whole game. Uh, Another thing about that is when you're being more aggressive, you're having more fun. You can do crazy stuff, and then you'll slowly whittle your own health down towards one where you start playing more defensively. But living life on that edge of going between one health and like three health is very exciting. Whereas in this game, you lose two health every time you get hit from a boss. So you're playing more defensively the whole game, and it's more lame that it's like that. Um, Another issue I have with this game is the amount of currency you get. It's very low and very lame. How much money you need to farm. As a fan of Metroidvanias, I love buying random crap from stores or having uh, the opportunity cost of buying items at the stores. But a lot of the times when I get to the stores, I don't have enough money to buy anything. So it's like, well, I guess I just gotta go and farm for this. And that's just more time spent not enjoying the game. And in the first game, you get rewarded from killing bosses. And I think that's a big reason why the balance towards currency feels this way. Whenever you kill a boss, you get a lot of like a geo, and you would eventually, after several bosses, stock up enough to buy a bunch of stuff, which is not possible in this game without explicitly farming. And let's look at the shop right now. There's like an 880 currency ring and 1,000 currency ring, or not ring, upgrade to your house. Yeah, I get house upgrades are, kind of memes. But it doesn't matter. I like buying both BS, and I'm probably gonna put in the effort to buy everything. I'd like to 100% the game. And there's not really a lot of options for improving the rate of speed getting currency. Yeah, I could go to Reddit, pull up a guide, be like, oh, where's the best route to farm this money back? But there's not really, it's not gonna help. We've got a Thief's Mark ring. This is one I got recently. You can only get that in I'm guessing I'm in Act 3, or at least pretty close to it. I beat the boss named Silk at the top of the capital, the Citadel. Got the credit screen. I'm working on getting more stuff before I think trying to unlock Act 3, is my vague understanding. Anyways, I finally got to where I've been farming my money. And this helps illustrate another problem. Like, the way I farm these guys is not very flashy or exciting. I just run in, you know, hit them a few times. When they're attacking, I run out, I run back. In the first game, you'd be a lot more aggressive, like, and be rewarded. I mean, you can do that in this one, but it's way more risky. So what's the point of me putting in all that effort when I guess the meta is me running in and out the whole time? And I kind of ran into this problem with bosses too. Like, you're rewarded too much for being patient. And that's just a boring way to play the game, in my opinion. Yes, you can be flashy and cool, but the punishment is too severe with the 2 damage rule. Now, another aspect of this is the amount of time it takes to heal, and the amount of thread you need to accumulate to heal. In the first game, you'd have to hit an enemy like 3 times to be rewarded with 1 heal, and you would, yes, it would probably take longer to heal 3 units in the first game than it would be in this one. But that's not the point. You have a lot of options there of when to heal. It's less of a commitment, and it's less overall resources. I'm pretty sure it takes like 12 hits to get 3 health in this one. So I suppose another way that you could help reduce some of my gripes with this game would be to increase the healing or reduce the amount of damage you need to get healed. So the thing about difficulty is there's a lot of ways to tune it, and I don't know about you, I think a lot of games where you get hit once and you just die, that's not a lot of fun. And games where you get hit like a billion times and still not die can also not be fun. So that you're playing with, it needs tuning. And this is with the patch notes having come out. The first patch came out, so I'm excited to see patches as they come and go. So yeah, some of these issues could be fixed. It looks like I'm getting like double currency from these guys. Maybe it's the badge I'm wearing. That's pretty convenient. I wish I had that before I farmed like, I don't know, 4,000 beads here to buy the random BS strewn across the game. And the fact that every map and bench, like, spread across Act 1 and 2, there's like a handful of benches that do not cost money to open, which can be very, very lame. Like, I get the convenience of having access to a bench. I feel like they didn't do it that much in the first game of locking off resources, or at least the fast travels cost money in the first game, but not in this one. They also cost money. Yeah. Admittedly, this game, the bosses are better. They're more difficult, they're more skill based, more satisfying to kill. But those are like traits I'm interested in a Souls like, not really not always in something like this. Like, also the runbacks are pretty brutal to some bosses, so that's kind of a negative sometimes. Like, you kind of need to tune the boss difficulty around the runback. I.e., if it's a super difficult boss, a bonfire right out the door is pretty convenient. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of flack from players on, well, I just spent so much time running back to the bosses. Yeah, I guess the aspect of I value my life a lot more in those bosses where I run back or have a long run back. Yeah. Anyways, oh yeah, I have another point regarding Dark Souls. Even Dark Souls had like a money farming problem. Like you would farm souls for certain purchases because, I mean, they could be pretty nice, but yeah, it's not necessarily an exclusive thing to this game. The need to farm currency like crazy. Another thing is, Hornet doesn't really do a lot of damage, and that's kind of lame. Or at least some enemies, like trash mobs, have way too much health. Like, it's pretty common that random flying guys that take like 10 hits to kill, or at least it felt that drastic. So you just spend a lot of time kind of waiting to fight those flyers. Granted, the tools are really cool. I like the tools aspect. Like I use them pretty frequently. At least when not farming, I try to avoid using them when farming because there's a separate resource tied to them that I also, as you can tell, I have 100 out of my like what 700 cap. So I need to farm those as well, or buy the stuff which costs money to refill them. So another reason to farm resources that's kind of really lame. I guess the first 7 hours of the game are pretty slow, and then the game picks up really well as you get into the second half of the first act. And then it carries on strong after the end of Act 1. It's kind of died down a little bit now that I'm towards the end of Act 2. I guess Act 3 is to be determined on whatever that is, as I haven't gotten to it yet. But I think I mean, if you're not enjoying a game at the beginning, is it worth slogging through to the end if it allegedly gets better? Like, this game is a good game, it's just not a good Hollow Knight game. Like, if I didn't come into this with the mind of a sequel to Hollow Knight, and this was like a separate title or something, or maybe they advertised it as a more challenging and a combat-focused version of the first game, I think that would have been a better route to manage expectations. But me, being a fat man, my analogy would be like, you know, you're so excited for ice cream after not having had it for 4 years, that when you finally get to the store and you buy it from the shop and they only have chips now. And as a fat person, yes, I love chips. Man, I really wanted that ice cream, you know? Like, yeah, it's got cool aspects, but as someone who's looking for ice cream, I'm gonna be disappointed. Ultimately, I would say this game's like a 7. I remember whenever I talk about this or see a discussion about this game, and this is extremely common for new games that come out, is a constant gaslighting of over positivity, and that is cancer to interact with when you have a different opinion. Like, when you bring up points that are valid points, like the currency issue is an issue in this game, but when someone absolutely disregards or refuses to address like those criticisms, like in a discussion, this is more of me talking about interacting with other people, other normies, those monsters, the absolute ignorance or the Like, they just don't want to accept that something bad exists in the thing that you're currently enjoying. And as a fat schizo, that just really grinds my gears, I guess. Also, stuff like if you ever go on V lately, there's some a lot of strange schizo postings about the game being woke and stuff, which I'll be honest, as a gamer, I skip through all the dialogue. I don't care. I'm not reading. I didn't really read anything in this game. Yeah, sue me. Whatever, it is what it is. I came for the gameplay, not the story. Where's my body video? Prepare to cry edition. Oh, the bugs. They ate the bugs and now they are dead. Oh no. Anyways, yeah. If they fix the balancing, like, I think where I'm at now in the game, it makes a lot of sense for bosses to do 2 damage. I have a lot more options. Granted, to be honest, I think I've stuck with the same gear the whole game. The need of having to use the compass is really lame. It should not be a badge, honestly. But yeah, the poison, the fractured mask, those are just like, you're never gonna not equip those. I haven't really gotten any other good, better options. The healing bell kind of sucks because you don't even get the heal off. I feel like in the first game there's a healing bell like this that would let you get the heal off, but you still lose the heal charge, like the Estus charge, but you don't take damage during it. Yeah, just having the option of 1 extra guaranteed hit in a boss against a boss where you die in 3 hits is invaluable. I'm not getting rid of the mask for honestly terrible items. I guess the extra damage from healing could be nice, but damage hasn't really been that bad because the poison pouch honestly needs to get nerfed. It's so strong, dude. It's so, you have so many, or so much damage over time with it. Yeah, I guess if these rosary values have been buffed, like I'm alarmed how I already have 800, so maybe my rosary changes have been addressed. Does that make the game better? Yes. It's going to be hard to factor that into my current state of mind. Maybe it's the ring is beneficial, really just that good. Like the damage, the first act damage values are fixed, and I guess rosaries and other currency issues are fixed. I think it could be bumped from a 7 to an 8. This is not a masterpiece. I feel like the music's worse. Honestly, the music in this game's been pretty minimal. Like, right now there's not really a track going on. It's just more like ambience. But like, I like this area, the Cogware Core has a cool track. It's interesting. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Let me think. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about? Oh, yeah, there's a meme. This is kind of a weird trend to get angry at. So maybe it's less of a real criticism and more of a grind my gear type thing of, you ever see fan art of people shoving 2 different like IPs together. Like someone got the Spy X Family with Silksong like cosplay. Like what? That's a little weird. It's like, wow, Thing 1 and Thing 2 crossover episode. Wowzers, man, I'm so amazed by Thing I like. I like Thing 1, I like Thing 2. You put Thing 1, 2 together, whoa. Yeah, that stuff's kind of cringe. Yeah, and I've been going for 20 minutes. Yeah, I guess, if there's a third one coming out, I don't know at this time. I mean, I'll be fucking 35 by the time the next one comes out. If that happens. So maybe the old man will have different opinions, but right now I don't think I would be willing to play a third one. I think there's been some small rumblings of rumors that they're going to be making DLC similar to the first one, which I think would mean free DLC. Which, side point, this game being $20? Phenomenal deal. But as a game, like, evaluating the game as someone who did not really put much weight in the value. Like, if the game was, if they charged $200, I suppose my opinion would be a lot more strict. So maybe for the price, you could say it's like a 9, but like as a person, like a artistic game reviewer, a fat schizo man on the internet, this is like a 7. I don't know, man. What more do you want me to say? I know a lot of people, like a lot of Redditors, they be like, oh, he doesn't like the game I want. Or like, I don't know, like, people need to be more open to criticism. Yeah, that's about all I got.